millions of Nigerians' households pay over half their income on housing, and hundreds of thousands more have no home at all. Access to decent, affordable housing will provide critical stability for these families and lower the risk of vulnerable families becoming homeless. High housing costs leave low-income families with little left over for other important expenses. Access to affordable housing increases the amount that families can put towards other important household needs and savings for the future. That is why on this program, I preach affordable and accessible housing for all, especially the low-income earners. As always, I am your housing diva, Fleur Annie. Welcome to another eye-opening episode of Housing Development. The news making rounds in the sector is up next.
Built environment professional bodies, namely Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors (NIQS), Nigerian Institute of Town Planners (NITP), Nigerian Institute of Architects (NIA), said the increase in fuel price would burden the construction industry and shatter dreams of achieving low-cost housing in the country. According to them, the implementation would affect logistics, personnel and overheads, which would lead to increment in wages and salaries of artisans, technicians and support staff in the construction industry. The development is coming at a time when inflation has continued to drive costs higher for everyone, including cost of construction inputs and squeezing margins in the sector. NIQS President Michael Shonubi told newsmen that ordinarily, the effect should be minimal as most plants and equipment used for construction are powered by diesel. The developer of properties on the old Daula Hotel land, which was recently demolished by the Kano State government, has described the demolition as a flagrant disregard for the globally accepted principle of fair hearing. To seek redress, the developer said his company has commenced the process of taking legal action against the government to seek compensation of 10 billion naira, among others. According to reports, in fulfillment of his campaign promise, Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf on Saturday commenced the demolition of buildings erected on public lands which he considered illegal. Yusuf, who was accompanied by the State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Gumel, described the demolished building as illegal. Housing Development Advocacy Network (HDAN), a leading and pioneer non-governmental organization, has tasked the incoming government to employ a radical approach to address issues and deliver affordable housing for Nigerians. This was disclosed in a statement signed by the executive director of HDAN, Festus Adebayo, in Abuja. He noted that while the federal government under former President Goodluck Jonathan had made appreciable efforts in its bid to provide affordable housing, President Muhammadu Buhari, on the other hand, had since 2015 done less than required to change the narrative in this regard. Adebayo lamented the current situation where housing is not a part of the first 5 top priority areas, stating that it is appalling as it remains the most compelling index in measuring the growth of the economy in developed countries like America and not oil. According to him, the present administration must take effective action on the issue because housing should not be a mere political stunt.
For more housing, finance, and construction news, do well to visit www.africanhousingnews.com. As agitations continue to swell over the federal government's announcement of the removal of fuel subsidy, the implications on the real estate and construction industry are coming to the front burner, with professionals within that sector saying that the policy will further nosedive construction activities and invariably provision of affordable housing for all. Let's take a listen to these Nigerians as they speak on the effect of fuel subsidy removal on their cost of living.
Things now are increasing. Even I stays in Mandala, and I work in zone 5. Who says zone 5? My going and coming now every day is 1,200. Coming 1,200, going 1,200. That is 2,400. So it's not funny. Landladies and landlords now, they will increase their house rent, no matter what. Because I stay in a rentage apartment. Because I see the move of which my landlady now is even the body language now is telling us that it's going to increase the house rent. But she have not come out officially and told us, but we are already seeing it. So if I don't know if government can do something, though, it's really affecting the poor masses.
The thing will affect housing rent, like the high cost of living, like food and other things. Because those people also may like to, like, okay, how much did I buy my things and how much did I transport it to where I'm doing my business. So they will consider those things, and definitely they would like to also increase their price. In fact, everything is going high as a result of this fuel subsidy.
I think it is very good. In due time, it's going to be of a beneficiary to all Nigerians. Rome is not built in a day. It is step by step. I know we are going to suffer it, or we are suffering it now. But if they keep on, or they keep hold to it, in due time we're going to enjoy it.
When you don't have house to live in Metama, you can check in good here. So that's not normal now. We know what Metama is and that's Sokoro. But you can find a way here.
It's a pity that the situation Nigeria found themselves was very tough. And the removal of this subsidy added insult to injury, if I might say. With this, it's going to increase more on house rent. The amount they charged before will be more will be added.
The impact is going to be everywhere, not only housing. Yeah, everything is going up. Price of cement will go up. The landlord will want to increase his or her rent. But at the long run, we are not looking at the present situation because we've been in this for over 20 years. So if we continue, we'll live in it, then younger ones will come and inherit it, and it's not going to be good for us.
Voices on the street there. All hope is not lost regardless. People should begin to make adjustments to their lifestyle to cope with the emerging realities. I'll be back shortly.
Let's go.
Huh? What is it again?
Oga, and they drive this car, my mind no dey here. My landlord is on my neck.
Your landlord again? I thought I have told you this before. Get a mortgage, register with NHF scheme, and get a home up front. What is so difficult about this?
Oga, I will do just that. See, I will shame that my landlord. Mortgage.
At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, everyone deserves a home.
Welcome back. You're watching Housing Development. The recent announcement by the Nigerian government to remove fuel subsidies is a significant policy that has garnered a wide range of reactions from different segments of the society. In this report coming up, these Nigerians say fuel subsidy removal will also affect the cost of house rent and house prices. Take a listen.
Just few days after the announcement by the newly inaugurated president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that there is no provision for fuel subsidy, the impact of the announcement has left many in shivers, including those in the housing and construction industry in Nigeria. The subsidy removal has affected labor, transportation of raw materials, food prices, among others, in a short while. These are the words of some Nigerians. Many have expressed displeasure in the announcement and can only hope for the better. The reverse is the case for others. According to Mr. Ikechukwu, the removal of fuel subsidy is a good step in the right direction. However, his concern is how well the subsidy allocation will be utilized, especially in the area of creating affordable housing for Nigerians.
If you can make it easier for Nigerians now to get mortgages from bank and microfinance bank and to finance their house at cheaper rates, if you can put even a fraction of that subsidy money into it, we'll be saying something different. But we all know that this money is going to go into the pocket of some politicians. So at the same time that the subsidy is bad, at the same time, man, at least the fuel was touching all the citizens of Nigerians, that subsidy. But without this one now, if we can actually trust our government that this money is going to be put into maybe steady lights or good roads or cheap subsidized housing or even cars, to get cars at cheaper rates, we won't be arguing. But we all know that we don't trust our leaders. That money that is being used for subsidy that they've stopped now, trust me, all the parastatals in Abuja, all the ministries now, they've started coming up with formats to tap into their money. For Mr. Simon, who is a property agent, the policy would make more people homeless as a result of rent increment and high cost of living.
If they don't do something very fast, it's going to affect. As in, for some people that they pay rent maybe like 1 year, 1 million in a year, maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, if you are paying 1 million now, you can pay 2 million because of the subsidy obtained. If you continue like this, by the time there's a particular time that you will not even be able to pay for even the small room. Maybe some people, they will stay on that bridge or something.
Also speaking, Mr. Ezekiel applauded the government for the removal, but however, noted that many landlords will be forced to increase the price of rents as a result of increased cost of materials. He urged Nigerians to remain patient for the outcome.
I don't know how Nigerians are going to cope at this time, because I've never had such, amount of increase. You remember, we have never had it before. So as a matter of fact, you're going to see as tremendous increment of the price of the rent, or the landlord has to increase the prices, because the landlord is also affected. He has whatever he's spending in the cost of buying fuel will no longer be the same thing. The tenants are going to, bear the blunt. Everything, as a matter of fact, is going to increase. I don't really know why we were into this bondage.
In their independent views, many said the move would impact on land, property, and rental values. In the established settlements, they foresee a slowdown of sales, reduced demand, and adjustment of prices of land and buildings.
The provision of adequate and accessible low-cost housing in a serene environment is our advocacy on this program. A trip to Durumi community in the Federal Capital Territory reveals a community in their need of basic infrastructure for better living conditions. Let's take a look.
The Housing Development Team took a trip to Durumi village to see the living conditions of people in that district and also to have a dialogue with them. A resident who has been living there for the past 14 years complained about the repulsive smell and the dirty environment. He said the building where people stay were dilapidated and deteriorating. He pleaded for the intervention of the government to help better the standard of living for the people in the community. He pointed out that there were no hospitals and good healthcare systems. saying that pregnant women suffer a lot and there have been records of death.
I've been here for 14 years now. Before now, we were finding it very difficult, even breathing good air. You can see how the environment is. The government doesn't care about us. The houses, some of the houses here are so dilapidated that you wake up, the rooms will be smelling. So please, we need the presence of government in this place. The healthcare system, there is no hospital, no maternity home. When women, pregnant women, they suffer here a lot every day, trying to take some die on their way to the hospital. If you can look at the environment, look at gutter everywhere. We need the presence. There is no environmental presence here. We even employ them to be coming here to check how the standard of living is because it's very poor.
Another resident and a shop owner complained bitterly about the terrible conditions of the roads. He appealed to the government to give a helping hand for easy access roads.
I'm a resident of Durumi, and the most challenges we are facing here is the bad road. Like as you can see, some of the bad roads, like for example, they try to tie some places and leave some places untied. So that's a big challenge to us. We are begging the government if they can extend the helping hand, at least to help us to have a easy access road.
Mrs. Cecilia Danladi complained about the bad conditions of the access roads and the heat because of a lack of free flow of air.
Challenges we are facing here is that there's no good road, because when coming in and out, the road is not okay. You can see there are accidents on the road. These Okada people, when you climb, due to the road condition, the road is not okay. Even this one that we are managing is the man that built this house, that when he was building, he tried to make this way that we can have accessible road, but before it wasn't like this.
A resident of Durumi, Comrade Mark Mario, expressed his feelings complaining about the bad roads, unhealthy environment, the poor state of the houses built. And he further exclaimed that good housing should not be begged for because it's a human right to have a good condition of living.
I've lived here for 7 good years now. And talking about housing here, we are suffering. We are suffering, seriously. One room in this place is 72,000 naira. No good window, and even the house is built to the zinc. For me personally, I see it as we here, we are just surviving life. We are not living life at all. The environmental sanitation that we used to hear those days, every Saturday, is no more happening. What the government is just doing is going around extorting from us who are living in the environment without doing anything for us. So I am not saying I'm begging them to come and do for us. It's our right for them to come and build houses for us at a lower price.
And that's the story of life in Durumi village, the urban ghetto.
Housing is not adequate if the specific needs, the basic needs are not provided. Every family has a right to enjoy decent and proper housing. Let's take a short break. I'll be back.
On behalf of Africa International Housing Show and all members of Nigeria Housing and Construction Industry, I'd like to express our condolence to the family of the late Lydia Mbogu, Chief Raymond Dokese. May so rest in perfect peace. Your contributions to creating a platform for our activism in promoting affordable housing in Nigeria will continue to remember it. Raymond, our father, we thank you. God bless your soul. And our condolence go to all the entire members, family of that communication. The soul of our great father, late Raymond Dokese, rest in perfect peace.
It is time to embrace town planning for sustainable development in the country, where effective town planning is carried out. Social and economic facilities are equitably distributed and accessible to the population. Health challenges will be minimized, productivity will greatly improve, wealth will increase, and safety will be enhanced. The enactment of the Nigerian Urban and Regional Planning Law in 1992, which became an Act of Parliament as Cap N138 LFN 2004, stipulates that approval of relevant development control department shall be required for any land development. Let us say no to unplanned settlements. Say no to illegal and unauthorized developments. Say no to land grabbing. Avoid demolition. Let's end the rising proliferation of illegal structures and housing estates. Engage in only approved development. Let's bring sanity back to our land. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners with the support of Housing Development Advocacy Network.
Welcome back. Africa's largest housing conference and exhibition, Africa International Housing Show, will be hosting its 17th edition come July 24 to 27th, 2023 at the International Conference Center, Abuja, Nigeria. One event that has provided positive solutions to the housing sector growth is the Africa International Housing Show. The largest home expo in Africa is dedicated to ensuring safe, decent, and affordable housing for all Africans. The show has been promoting housing affordability for all since 2006. The 17th Africa International Housing Show will convene policymakers, operators, regulators, and advocates to explore possible solutions to address Nigeria's most pressing housing challenges. This year's speakers include both nationally and internationally recognized housing, finance, and community development experts. Africa International Housing Show offers housing professionals and leaders the guidance and inspiration they need to shape the future of social housing and deliver for residents and communities. Now, here are what you must know about Africa International Housing Show.
The Africa International Housing Show, AIHS, is the #1 event for the housing and construction industry in Africa. Attending AIHS is the right move for you. Housing and construction shows are the epicenter of the industry. They are filled with attendees that are just like you. It is your #1 opportunity to exhibit, network, make sales, and build relationships with other professionals in your industry. This event creates the avenue to meet your next business partner. You may learn from a fellow professional. You may meet a professional that provides you with a business solution. Meet that potential buyer for your products. Meet a strong investor that will take your business to the next level. AIHS focuses on every aspect of the built industry and market and bring an entire industry together. There is no better place to gain an overview of the industry and to take a deep dive into the industry with exhibitors you talk to, product demos you experience, education sessions you sit on, and everyone you meet during AIHS. Check out your competitors. AIHS is the perfect window to see what your competitors is doing. This gives you the opportunity to find out what is working for them so you can leverage this information to make educated business decisions about your own products, service, or business. Face-to-face interactions are priceless. The Housing and Construction Show gives you the opportunity to sit down face-to-face with prospects to convert them to customers. You will be interviewed at the venue to talk about your goods and services which will be aired on AIT and TVC. AIHS is the best place to be. The first to discover upcoming trends, new products and services, and everything that is happening or about to happen in the industry. To learn more, visit our website www.africanhousingshow.com.
Welcome back. For more details on the 17th African International Housing Show, visit the website shown on your screen. That is it on today's episode of Housing Development. I've got to get going, but be sure there is always more on housing development. So keep it at same time. Until then, I remain your housing diva, Fleur Annie. To stay safe.